Can you give me my bag on
Just wait, I'll do a video right there before I'm gonna feed you, okay? Just be patient. We need to work. Where is this inbox?
Is that another feeding time at the zoo?
No. Yeah, so there's another letter. Dear Terence and Beth, I am Rina from Leyte. I married my OC husband 2017, but as the year goes by, he gave more time on our farm. He enjoyed it very much in the point that we don't have alone time going out. Last year, his friend visited him and stayed in our house. We talked, and even he is now in Australia, our communication is still ongoing. And I miss him, and I have thoughts how to make life with him. He didn't confess his feelings, nor I am, but we both smiled when we talk. What should I do? My husband has no time on me, and there's someone out there spent talking, and even he's cooking food and sent a video to me on how to cook it. Let me know, I'm confused on my feelings. Rena. From Leyte. What exactly in Leyte? That's a big island, right? So what's your advice on that?
Nothing. What should she do? Nothing. She should have been doing nothing all along. She's being, all right, I'm not talking to you, you're the person here. You're the live, the flesh.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have done this. Sorry, pack your bags, you're going on a guilt trip. You shouldn't have done it.
Who do you think his fault is that? You know,
Well, who did what?
In his comment is the husband is busy in the farm, you know.
Oh.
I think there is a 50-50, as you always saying, you know, in the relationship it's 50-50. So in order to work on the relationship, is the other part will give the 50 and you 50 and it make it 100.
Except that he's out there digging the soil and she's out there digging some other guy.
Mm-hmm. He didn't mention that he's falling in love with it, you know. Yeah.
Honey, where were you? We just had a conversation in front of the camera. She told you that she thinks of him all the time and that the communication is still ongoing, and she's trying to imagine in her mind how she can possibly have a life with him rather than a husband who is out tilling the soil. You didn't get any of that?
No, I didn't. The way I read his message, her message is just like there's confusion, right? Correct? If I'm correct.
Yes, she's certainly confused. She's confused about right and wrong.
But I think, Mom, you need to choose what's right. You know, I saw a book. I read a book and saying, do what is right because it's right, and do it right. You got it?
That's a good quote.
Do what is right because it is right.
She's way past that, isn't she? Because she's already entertaining the idea that it could work with this guy.
One of the rice continue talking.
Sorry, the fact is that we all have these temptations and we all have them on a daily basis.
But do you consider that as...
if I can finish my sentence, okay. You know, we all have these on a daily basis where we see someone who is all dressed up to go out. Well, you're seeing them when they're out and they're smiling and at peace with the world. That's probably not their story. So imagining that everything would be great if you were with that person, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
But, you know, if you look at on the other side of the coin, you know, what if he is not, she is already, both of them is not happy anymore, right? So that's why the husband, the OC husband is putting all his time in the farm, you know, instead of to them to be with her, because he wanted to escape, you know, maybe he feel that he is in the trap, you know. So
the husband?
Because why is it you put a lot of your effort on doing something, right? So there could be the other chances, and then you need to look on the other edge, right? But as what you're doing, it's still right. It's not right, because no matter what's how you justified it, it's still wrong, because you need to look at on the other side. What if your husband do that to you? What would it feel? Right? So I think the best is, you need to talk about it, reconcile about it. But if you think that if you both talk, that you agree that both of you are not into anymore together, then better to be separate, in good terms. Correct? So by that, if
Well,
you're
whatever happens, and you decide to part, it only makes sense to part on good terms,
Yeah.
because just prior to the parting comes all of the talk about how you're going to do it.
yeah, so in
Right?
good, it's
But
not,
doing it on the basis of you're just not happy anymore, I don't know that that's sufficient. That's
what
that's
if,
really not sufficient.
look,
If I can finish my sentence,
See, we disagree.
it's not sufficient to say, "Oh, I'm not happy anymore. I want to leave."
but you need, remember, there's a saying, life is too short.
And depending on how you use it, you can use it to justify almost anything.
Yeah, your life is complicated. Your life is complicated.
It's only complicated because she has made it complicated. If you
But what if on her letter is he smiled with the other guy? How would you put yourself in kind of situations that you're not happy anymore, and then there's someone out there that makes the life that makes you happy? How are you gonna justify that?
just to remind you, what was our agreement when we first started talking about being together?
Yeah, so it's,
Didn't we say that the time would come, and probably very, very soon, when you would see someone who was much more handsome and much younger than me, and much more desirable than me, and on a daily basis I would see women who seemed interested in me and were much more beautiful than you.
yeah.
And we said that was the reality. And what did you say you would do? What was your solution to that? If you felt
Unloved or out of love,
yes, what would you
Yeah.
do?
I said to him that, if time will come that it happened, that I fall out of love, fall out of love with him, is I'm going back to the beginning. What's the reasons why I'd married him? Right?
Right. And you would realize once again how wonderful I am.
But on the life of Rina, I understand in his situations, Remember we talk about other couple, that they broke up, and then I said to Terence, we need to look on the other side of the coin, why it happened.
Well, that's why
because
you and I do these things together, because you're going to automatically go to the other side of anything I say.
No,
And when we started this, she said, what should I do? I said, stop.
No, I'm trying to. I'm not just trying to be one-sided. I need to look at on the other side of the coin. What's the cost of it, right? So,
Okay.
like for example, we've known a couple that broke up, right? And then Terence said, "Oh, it's just something like that." And I said to Terence, "No, you need to look at the other side of the story. What happened, And I said to Terence, you know what? I am. If I look at it, I was remember you angry of me when I said that I was amazed on how the step up, what the steps that the person is doing in order to be happy, right? And then you said, no, that's not right. I said, no, it's not. The point is how brave that person to take the other way, no matter what other people it affects on other people. So on your side, ma'am, I don't know if you get at me. But on your side, ma'am, you need to talk to your husband about it, and if it didn't reconcile, if both of you are been long way, long ago. Long, in other words, you've been longer and farther. You know, as what Darren said, is settle it in good terms. You know, so that both of parties are happy.
Yeah, there's plenty of information about this kind of thing that you can go to. I mean, you are doing the right thing by coming to us, not because we are us, but because that's an outside source of information which will help you to clarify your own situation. There are lots of very clever people on YouTube who are giving advice in situations like this. So don't take one opinion.
Yeah.
You need to go for second and third opinions. But if it keeps coming out in one particular way, then you may need to reassess what your situation is. For instance, if it was important to you to keep your marriage going, you would not be flirting with this other guy, because that's what it is. Flirting is when you, even momentarily, let someone else that's outside your marriage think that they might have a chance. And that's what I think is happening here. Now, if this man had never arrived, maybe you might be thinking differently about your husband, who is out on the farm having fun, digging furrows and planting potatoes or whatever. You might be out there making lunch for him, or taking snacks, or sitting with him in his break, or just making him feel that he is loved and appreciated for all the hard work he's doing on his farm, for you as well as him.
The other thing you need to consider
And now
is,
the other side.
the other thing is try to check on the farm. Maybe he's doing something there, digging another person. You know. But for me, ma'am, you know, I understand what you mean, and I also understand that the other consequences. But always choose what is right. You know,
Yeah.
if you wanted to be out in the relationship, do out it with a clean hand. You know, before entering into another relationship, you know, try to work with it, and if it didn't work it, then out with a clean hands.
See, I can almost hear you saying in answer to that, but maybe the other man isn't interested in me, so I can't go and tell my husband I want a divorce, because I might find that the grass that's growing, that's greener on the other side of the fence, isn't interested in me. So you have to try to do what's right.
But
I'm not judging you for this, because I understand what these temptations are, if I can finish a sentence.
But what
I
if?
understand.
Yeah, I understand in that.
Go
your
ahead,
point.
4th time try.
But what if you said that the other side of the fence, the tree that in the other side of the fence are growing greener, right? But what if you are more greener if you go that side? What's the input on you that?
Well, it may be that we don't know, do we? There's a limited amount of information. What she has said is that she is confused about this, so it's not a clear-cut thing. If it was absolutely finished with her husband...
Finish it first and message us.
Yeah, but if it was already absolutely finished, then when this other man came, she wouldn't have been looking at him the way that she has been. And anyway, what kind of a guy does she think that she's going to get that goes behind her husband's back and tries to make eyes at his wife? What kind of a man are we talking about?
Good, you're right. You know, so again,
Life ain't easy.
life is not easy. Life is is complicated, but you need to choose what is right and what makes things more sense, right?
Yeah, try to put yourself forward in time when you're say, worst case scenario, you split from your husband and you went to this other man, and perhaps it never worked out. And in, say, 10 years' time, someone is asking you, so why did you leave your husband? And then you're going to have to describe the ethics that you used in order to justify leaving. And that's the tough one, because if you really behaved badly, you're going to pay in karma for that.
Agreed. You know, in the sense of, what's the name of that Cinderina? You know, talk to your husband, put all the scenario, you know, put all the situations, what happened, and then, you know, before you're doing anything that makes later on the consequences, you need to make sure and decide if it's the right thing to do.
Yeah. What happens if this guy goes to stay with another friend and likes his wife as well? He's got a track record.
Have a great day. Have a great day.
And on that note, have a great day.
It's a complicated life, right? You know, but always learn, always remember that, you know, in every temptations, make sure that you've been out it shining and glimmering, right?
Yes.
Have a great day and God bless. Bye-bye.